everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's good to be back. I was on vacation for a couple weeks, so I missed a couple videos, but I'm excited to get back in it today. And I thought, what better video to film than my travel makeup bag video. This is the makeup bag I brought traveling with me. I went back home to Arizona to visit friends and family. One of my really good friends got married, and then I visited another friend in Washington afterward. So it was quite the big trip, but this makeup served me well the entire time. It's fast, easy, but like still effective. So in this routine, I actually use a powder foundation. So because of that, I'm going to start with my liquid under eye concealer. And of course, I brought my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Peach. This is an all-time favorite and didn't even consider bringing any other concealer besides this one. So while that dries down, let's talk about the face palette that I brought. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture Palette. I'm pretty sure this one came out in 2021 and I got it beginning of 2022. It was on heavy clearance. It was like, I think half off or more than half off. This is what it looks like. The different colors they come out with every year may or may not work for you. And I knew that these colors would be something that I would use, like all of them, the two blush shades, the bronzer shade. So it was a good purchase for me. I do really like this. I know Hourglass is expensive, but it has been amazing, especially because there's a huge mirror. So this is what I use every time I travel as my mirror as well, because I don't always have one, of course. The concealer has dried down a little bit, so I'm going to just blend it out with my finger, just tap it out. This light here is obviously coming from the blinds through the window. I am filming a bit earlier today, so bear with me with that. I don't think it's in the way too much. So I didn't need to use this brush today for concealer, but I did have way longer nails on during my trip. And when I did, I used this e.l.f. Duo complexion brush, the concealer, the smaller side, to get right in here when my nails couldn't allow me to do that on my own. I bring this traveling all the time because it's just so convenient and double-sided and easy. This next step may surprise you. I know I said I brought a powder foundation, and I love powder foundations. I use them quite often. I almost always have one in my collection, and they're definitely the thing I reach for when I have like zero time because it's just so quick. But this is a newer one in my collection, and I had some trouble with the shade range originally. It's the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten powder foundation, and the shade that works for me is actually Porcelain, which I would not have guessed originally. You can see it kind of has like a cool undertone, which I'm definitely more warm undertoned. So I actually originally got the shade Fair, and it was like orange, like straight up orange. Did not work for me at all. I tried it many times, really wanted it to work. But what's really cool is I reached out to their customer service and I kept the old color, and then they gave me a gift card that would cover a new purchase for a different shade. Their customer service was great, and I really appreciated that because now I've been loving this and using it all the time. And you can see there, it's flattened out. There used to be a little mountain there, but no longer. I've really been liking it. So I actually start by applying this in my most trouble areas where I want the most foundation concentrated with this. I think it's a Juno & Co sponge. It's one of their microfiber sponges. You could use like any dry sponge that you have for this step. This is just one that I don't utilize very often, so I wanted to show it some love. But I just swirl the sponge in, pick up product, and then, like I said, where I have more of this acne scarring here, I just press where I want the most coverage. Going back in for some more. Pressing. Now I switched to a fluffier brush. I brought my Moda powder brush. It's a travel set. I think it's like their mermaid travel set. But now that the concentrated pigment is there on my cheeks, I take more with this more fluffier brush and just make sure everything is blended. And moving the smaller amount of product onto my T-zone, just so it doesn't look cakey. And this is a beautiful like natural matte finish. It also is really good at blurring pores. And you know what's so funny? I was talking to my mom about how I've really been enjoying this. I gave her the darker shade that didn't work out for me, but it can totally work for her. And she was telling me that my aunt and uncle were visiting their house, and my aunt, this is what my aunt has used for years. And my mom watched her apply it, and they were talking about it, and my aunt's been loving it for forever. I know it's been popular for years, and the brand Laura Geller has been around for forever. I've always been curious about them, and so I was really excited to finally try it, and was kind of disappointed when it didn't work out, but now it is definitely working out for me. Okay, here we go. Let me get a bit closer. Hopefully you can see it's like a natural matte finish. A lot of my pores are filled in, and if I wasn't talking you through the steps, it would probably take me like a minute or less than a minute to apply all that, so I've really been enjoying it. Although the shade is a bit more cool tone, it does have some of that warm color throughout the marbling, so it's been working good. I think in the summer it might not be the best shade. It'll be probably a bit too late in the summer, but I've been really loving this. Okay, next up I did bronzer. A lot of the times I just skipped bronzer and highlight and did blush, but if I had the time I would do bronzer. So I went back to the Hourglass palette, and the bronzer shade in here is their Natural Bronze Light, and it's a really good shade for me. I used the e.l.f. blending brush, which last time I used this on camera I wasn't able to link it, so they may not be selling it anymore, I don't know, but it really does fit perfectly in all of the contour bronzer areas, and it's a short barrel, which makes it better for travel. And in case you missed it, I did a whole video on the placement of your color cosmetics, your color cheek cosmetics, so bronzer, blush, and highlighter. I talked through every step and talked about why I place the product where I do. So I'll link that video down below. Definitely go check it out if you're interested. We all know bronzer on the neck, non-negotiable. Okay, for highlighters, sometimes I will take this strobe powder and glistening strobe light right here. But honestly, this formula has quite a bit of radiance built into the products, so I often would skip this step just for time's sake. And although I like this highlight, I wouldn't say it's like incredibly amazing or anything. I actually prefer this shade in the middle, which is the finishing powder in diffuse light. And I actually really like that as an under eye setting powder, which is rare for me to say. I don't like very many powders under my eyes. And I don't set my under eyes very often, but if it's a really, really long day, I know I need my makeup to be like as long wearing as possible, I will definitely go in with that shade. Okay, and then for blush, I brought the brush that I use all the time. It's the Real Techniques contour brush. I use this for liquid and powder blush. I would say most of the time I use this shade, which is Mood Exposure, but I did also mix in the shade in the middle, the blush shade in the middle called Vibrant Flush a lot too. And it depended on what I was wearing. This kind of goes with everything. If I had a more orangey peachy outfit on, then I would go with that middle shade. So I'll just mix the two. I'm going to start out with Mood Exposure. I know that they sell mini sizes of their blushes, Hourglass does, so I would definitely consider getting Mood Exposure here in a mini size. I have been actually wearing it a lot and loving it, and it just seems to go with every outfit. Gotta remember to sit up straight. And then I'll take some of my eyelids as lazy eyeshadow on the bridge of my nose and my forehead. Now because I'm wearing some peachy pink tones in my outfit, I am going to go into that Vibrant Flush shade and put some just on the apples of my cheeks. So this next product I've talked about before, the Believe Beauty Eyebrow Styling Gel. I have this in the shade light brown, but I think it's misnamed because this is definitely like a taupe color. I have been incredibly impressed by this brow gel. I like this more than the e.l.f. Wow Brow and more than the Essence Make Me Brow. It has more pigment, but not in a like harsh way, and you can see I really can work through the brush hairs and get like a incredibly filled in brow for like very minimal effort. And the hold on this one is better than the other two I just mentioned as well. I actually use the Believe Beauty foundation in my makeup kit. I have like 3 or 4 shades. It really just works on every skin type, and I just adjust the primers I use based on my client's skin type. So if they have oily skin, I'll go in with an oil control primer first, but that foundation works for literally everyone. And it looks really good in flash photos and photography. And I've heard that Believe Beauty is shutting down, so I went and restocked on the foundation, and I tried to find more of this, but I couldn't find it in the one store I went to. But hopefully they're just leaving like Dollar General and not closing entirely, and hopefully I can still get their stuff online. But yeah, this is really incredible. You can see how easy that was. I did bring this other like 2-step brow routine. I filmed a video on this and it's on my channel. I can link it down below. This is definitely like if I have more time, I'll do these 2 steps. I would say almost the entire time on my trip, I didn't really want to spend time doing that, and I just did the quick styling gel. Okay, so if you watch any of my videos, this will come as no surprise. The Wet n Wild Marilyn Monroe eyeshadow palette is the perfect eyeshadow palette for me, and I bring it every time I travel, and I use this shade for my inner corner. And again, I brought that palette in case I needed to do a more traditional or more involved eyeshadow look, but a lot of times I just put bronzer or blush on my eyes. This I wore a lot too because this is also really quick and easy. The Rimmel Wonder Cloud All Day Wear Soft Shadow in the shade Honey Drop. These are incredible, and I think they're like $3 or around $3. All right, I did bring eyeliner, but I didn't use it one time because I didn't have time. Next up would be mascara, and I did bring my brown Buble and Rudy Berry mascara, but it was an older tube and it started flaking, which that formula doesn't flake when it's new, so I knew it was time to retire it. So I actually bought a new mascara while I was out there. It's the Maybelline Lash Sensational Firework Mascara. My aunt actually recommended this to me, and it is really, really nice. It's very smooth and like thin feeling. It's just a black shade, but it's not tubing necessarily, but it is like washable, so it's not hard to remove. It doesn't flake or smudge on me like waterproof mascaras do. So I've really been enjoying it, and I like the brush too. I think I am going to open my backup of the Buble and Rudy Berry mascara because I've been missing it. I don't know if you guys follow her, but she used to make more videos on YouTube. She doesn't so much anymore, and that's how I found her. I think she's still active on Instagram, but she's coming out with a lip stain. I think it's a lip liner lip stain, and I'm really excited about that too. I'm sure it's gonna be incredible. Look how nice that is. I didn't build it too much, that's just one layer. But yeah, they look pretty good. Nice and clean and lengthened. Not a ton of volume, but some volume for sure. So I've been liking this a lot. Also, I think the packaging is just fun. And I'm gonna apply this Peri Para Ink Mood Glowy Tint in the shade Rose in Mind 03. I had this in like a brown shade originally, and I've used that one on camera before, but this is a new color I got for spring. It smells really good too. It's like fruity, but not peach like a lot of other K-Beauty lip stains are. So it's like nice and refreshing to have a new scent. The finish on this is amazing. The lip stain lasts a long time. I will say it kind of dries my lips out a bit, but that's true with any lip stain. And especially going from Georgia to Arizona, I was feeling very dry in Arizona because I'm not used to that weather anymore. But here, when I use this lip stain, it's generally fine, and I don't notice it as much as I did when I was there. Peri Para actually makes a lip gloss, like just their traditional lip gloss formula, and it's one of my favorite lip gloss formulas on the market, and it's very inexpensive for the amount of product you get. I can link it down below. I bought a tube of that and like worked all the way through it, and it was an empty of mine before I started my channel. I think I might have posted it on my Instagram about it being an empty, but it's really good. I would definitely consider repurchasing that. It's not as like cushiony as the e.l.f. lip oil. It's like a true gloss, but it's not sticky, and somehow it still lasts well even though it's not super sticky. So anyway, I really like Para lip products. Okay, scraping away any of the smudging. I finished everything off with the Ulta Beauty Wanna Be Free Makeup Setting Mist, but I didn't bring this bottle. I brought this small one, which they've rebranded and it's now in like an orange tube, I think. But I got the mini when it was still in the gray packaging, so just gonna refill and reuse this. This is a great setting spray if you have more oily skin. It's balancing, so it'll make your T-zone not as oily, but it still kind of gives some life back to like the rest of your face. It's an incredible setting spray. I have it in my makeup kit. A lot of my clients, especially when I do like a bridal trial afterward when we're doing the wedding day makeup, they're like, yeah, that setting spray lasted all day, which is always great to hear. So let me put my eyes back on. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this simple, easy travel makeup bag makeup look. I can link this bag in the description box as well. It's from Bagsmart. I got this based off of a recommendation from Simply Blair here on YouTube. She showed this in one of her recent travel makeup bag videos. But yeah, it's a good like convenient size still while still being able to hold like a lot of stuff. And this is just jewelry and stuff that I accumulated from the trip, but it has little pockets. And then I put my makeup brushes there in that like plastic holder thing. So it opens up like a wide mouth and then it closes down really easily. So I really like this a lot. Thank you so much for watching. It's great to be back and filming. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.